The Force is more than a tool for the Jedi and the Sith. It is a cosmic energy field, binding all life and stretching beyond the limits of time and space. But what if the Force itself could manifest in forms far greater than we have ever imagined? Long before the first lightsaber was ignited, or the Republic rose, ancient entities existed. Beings of immense power who shaped the galaxy in ways incomprehensible to the mortal mind. The ones of Mortis, a rare and a profound glimpse into a deeper, mystical realm of the Force. A family of godlike beings, each of them representing one of its aspects: light, dark, balance, locked in an eternal struggle that mirrors the very nature of the galaxy. In this video, we'll explore the incredible power of the Ones, their role as creators and destroyers, delving into the mystery of how they embody the limitless potential of the Force. But their story is more than one of immense power. It's a deeply tragic tale of family, fate, and the consequences of imbalance. Join us as we break down the cosmic mythology of the Ones of Mortis, their awe-inspiring abilities, and the heartbreaking destiny that tears them apart. But we'll first be discussing the Celestial theory and their connection to the Ones. The theory that the Ones of Mortis are remnants of an ancient era dominated by powerful celestial beings paints them as a relic of a foregone, forgotten age. These Celestials, as whispered in legends, were said to have wielded the Force on an unimaginable scale, using it to shape the galaxy's fabric, creating worlds, altering the flow of time, forging the foundations of balance. The Ones, with their immense power and a deep connection to the Force, are speculated to be the descendants of this offshoot godlike race. Their existence on Mortis, a realm outside the conventional rules of space and time, supports the idea that they are echoes of an age where the Force was wielded as a tool of creation and destruction. Others, though, will disagree, theorizing that the Ones are not beings of flesh and blood, but rather manifestations of the Force's will. Ancient, raw energies, shaped into physical forms. The daughter and the son, both of them are seen as personalities of the Force's aspects, bound to their rules for eternity. This interpretation suggests that their lives and actions are not choices, but are greater reflections of the Force's will, endlessly replaying the cosmic balance of conflict between the light, the dark, and neutrality. But whether they are celestials or pure Force incarnations, the Ones of Mortis blur the line between mythology and reality, deepening the mystery of their purpose and origin. The idea that they are beings unable to escape their roles adds a layer of deep tragedy to their existence. If the Ones are truly celestials or raw manifestations of the Force, they are not masters of their power, but rather prisoners of it, forced to reenact the eternal struggle of light, dark, and balance, with no hope of freedom or resolution. This theory elevates their story from mere mythology to a story of power, purpose, and the limits of even the most divine beings. The tragedy of the Ones of Mortis. The story of the Ones is one of family and fate, bound together by love, but torn apart by nature. Each member is a slave to destiny. The daughter embodies the light, the son the dark, and the father the impossible task of maintaining their roles, opposing forces driving them into eternal conflict, a battle that none can escape. But something else is undeniable, that being their deep love for one another. Their father's futile attempts to reconcile them illustrate the cost of imbalance. In the end, the destinies consume each of them, tearing apart their very family that they seek to protect. But what makes this truly compelling is the undeniable bond between the daughter and the son despite their opposition. The daughter, as the embodiment of the light, cannot tolerate her brother's darkness, just as the son cannot coexist peacefully within her purity. Yet, their connection is deep, deeper than their conflict. They are two halves of a whole, bound together by the Force even as it drives them apart. The father's love for both of his children and his struggle to maintain balance adds to this tragedy, as his efforts to protect them ultimately fail. Their inability to reconcile reflects their unyielding tension within the Force, a balance that can never be achieved. In the end, the story of the Ones is one of family, one doomed by their roles of cosmic order. Their love for one another is genuine, but it cannot overcome the Force that defines them. The daughter sacrifices herself to save Ahsoka, an act of ultimate selflessness, while the son is consumed by ambition, leading to his fall. The father, bereft of his children, sacrifices himself to end the cycle, leaving the galaxy to grapple with the Force's eternal struggle without them. The Ones of Mortis illustrate the profound tragedy of destiny, how even divine beings can be prisoners to their nature and purpose, bound to play out a story that, though cosmic in scope, is deeply human in themes of love, loss, and those incapable of breaking fate. The ones of Mortis wield the power on a scale unimaginable to mortal Jedi or Sith. They use it to create, alter, to transform the fabric of existence. Unlike ordinary wielders of the Force who channel it as a tool or as an ally, the ones of Mortis use it in its purest, most unrestrained form. They can shift their shapes, manipulate time, influence life itself with effortless precision. Mortis, their ethereal domain, is a testament to their creative power, a realm forged entirely by the Force, bending the rules of space and time to their will. However, the father's decision to confine his children to Mortis is not born from cruelty, but necessity. He fears the boundless potential of his daughter and son, knowing that their power, unchecked by any balance, could destroy everything that they touched. This imprisonment mirrors Anakin Skywalker's journey and struggle with the constraints of the Jedi, highlighting the tragedy of beings trapped by their own greatness and the structures designed to contain them. Their ability to create is matched only by their capacity to destroy. The father's greatest fear is that his children's unchecked power would tear the galaxy asunder. The daughter's light, if unleashed without the sun to balance it, consuming the galaxy in pure, unyielding order, snuffing out individuality, free will, in favor of perfection. Conversely, the sun's darkness left unchecked would plunge the galaxy into chaos, feeding on fear, hatred, and destruction until nothing remained. Together, their conflicting natures are two opposing storms, cataclysmic forces that cannot coexist peacefully, but are also inseparable. Their imprisonment on Mortis is both a safeguard for the galaxy and a tragedy for the people themselves, whose potential to reshape creation is forever overshadowed by the threat of their own nature. The destructive power of the Ones. When the Ones are untethered, their destructive potential is unparalleled, threatening the fabric of existence. The daughter's unwavering connection to the light would burn so bright that it would erase darkness entirely, imposing a suffocating purity that would strip the galaxy of its natural cycle of free will. The sun would unleash chaos, corruption, unchecked ambition, plunging the galaxy into strife and destruction. Their power transcends the mortal understanding of the Force. It is capable of shattering stars, altering reality. As siblings locked in an eternal struggle, their conflict would ripple across the galaxy, leaving only devastation. A cosmic war with no victor and no conclusion. It is the Father's presence as the arbiter of balance that is the only force preventing this catastrophe. But even he recognizes that his control is a tenuous act. His children's nature is not something that can be permanently subdued. They are the Force incarnate, and their struggle is the very struggle of the galaxy itself. Without the Father's restraint, their power would spiral, leaving destruction. This looming threat mirrors the potential danger of Anakin's unrestrained power, a reminder that the Force, when wielded without balance or understanding, is as much a weapon of ruin as it is a source of creation. The story of the Ones of Mortis is thus a cautionary tale of limitless power, showing that even those who embody the Force are bound by its duality, and a warning of the chaos that comes from imbalance. The Ones embody the raw power and mysticism of the Force, representing the endless struggle of light, dark, balance. Their story is a reflection of the Force's nature, beautiful, destructive, harmonious, filled with conflict. Their love, their power, and their flaws. The Ones of Mortis provide us with a profound understanding of the Force's infinite potential, and the dangers also. But as awe-inspiring as tragic as their tale may be, there is another figure that is tied to their legacy. A being whose existence goes beyond the Force itself even. An abomination born of chaos, conflict, something, unlike the Ones, that is completely unnatural. Abeloth, the mother of stars, the nightmare lurking on the edges of the galaxy's understanding of the Force and its will. A being of vile power, a being of madness that defies natural order. Once a servant and a caretaker of the Ones, Abeloth was transformed into something monstrous, attempting to partake in their immortality, smashing the light and the dark within herself, becoming something beyond comprehension. Insane, driven by the need to control, Abeloth is a reminder of the dangers inherent in meddling with the primal force of the galaxy. Her very existence challenges what we understand about the Force, suggesting a realm of corruption and power that even the Ones fear. She stands as the ultimate warning. When balance is broken and the boundaries of the Force are shattered, the result is a creature, one that transcends good, evil, and maybe the Force. A horror that can tear apart the galaxy, and perhaps even existence. Let her story remind us that even in the deepest myths, there are forces too dangerous to wield, too terrifying to fully comprehend. And with that, my friends, thank you so much for opening today's holocron, and may the Force be with you.